Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Lawn Hustle, season number 1, episode number 5. It's Sunday morning, Super Bowl Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. I hope you have a great day today, and thank you for spending a little time with me. In today's episode, I want to talk for just a short time on some things I wished I would have known when I started my lawn care business. When I started, I was really clueless on how to run a lawn care business. And I wish I would have had a mentor, someone that would have taken me under their wing and guided me to help me find a little success early on in my business. So if I can share with you some things I wish I would have known, maybe if you are just starting your business, maybe this will help you find success a little sooner. The first thing I wish I would have known is not to stress over trying to buy new equipment. You really don't need a new mower. You really don't need a new blower, new trimmers, new hedge trimmers. All of those things are nice, but when you're starting out, you can find good, used, quality equipment. There was a time when I was starting that it seemed like I was having a breakdown over and over and over and over again. And at that time, I had no backup equipment. So when I'm down, I'm getting further and further behind on my scheduled work. So I would recommend finding good quality used mowers that still have a lot of hours left in them. Find you some good used trimmers, blowers, hedge trimmers, and start making money with them until you can save to purchase new. I would also recommend not going into debt for new equipment. Work until you can save and save until you can buy. Cash is king. I would also recommend, and I wish I would have known this, route density is so important. I had work. I took some work from a larger company and I subbed out some internet stations, and they were spread all over the place. It would take me all day to drive, and there was windshield time in between each service. And some of the properties was so small, I walked around a building with a trimmer and I was done. And I would drive 20 minutes to get to that location. Too much windshield time is not profitable for you. By the time you spend money in gas, if you have an employee riding shotgun, it just doesn't make sense to have work spread out all over the city. If you can bring in your work schedule to where you have a tight route every day. I have properties I pull up on a street, unload, and mow 7 right on the same street without moving the truck. That is the ultimate goal that you should strive for, because it's one stop, 7 services, 7 paydays in one stop. I wish I would have known that sooner. Another thing I wish I would have known is to buy extra belts, pulleys, tire plug kits, extra blades for the mowers. Because without fail, you're going to be out in the field mowing and you're going to break a drive belt. You're going to be out mowing and something happens and you break down. And if you have a few extra parts in the truck or on the trailer, you can change a belt in the field and continue working that day. So I would recommend to you to buy a few extra belts, pulleys, buy yourself a good tire plug kit, a portable air compressor where if you have a flat tire, you can air it up on location and continue to work. Another thing I wish I would have known is to understand the importance of client relationship and learn to value the client and depend on that client as much as they depend on you. Because what that does is it creates a relationship. And a client and business relationship is vital if you're going to be successful in business. Because when you show up and you do a great job for them, now that client has become an advocate for your business. And they will share with everyone they know. They'll post it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They'll share it with everyone they come in contact with that you do great work. And if they want something done, they'll recommend you. Before you invest a lot of money, make sure that your area is not oversaturated. In my area, we had several factories close and people get laid off, people lose their job. The first thing they want to do is run to Lowe's and buy a trailer and a box store mower, and all of a sudden, they're a lawn care company. If that happens to you, I would suggest to you, just stay consistent and keep doing what you're doing, because every chuck in a truck will not survive in the lawn care business. They'll drop out as fast as they jumped in. Be consistent. I got really concerned when a large factory in my town shut down, and all of a sudden there was lawn care companies everywhere. Now there's about 4 or 5 major companies in my area that are really my competition. So stay consistent, do what you're doing. Don't let the check in a truck scare you away. If you're starting out, and I wished I would have known this as well, don't try to get too big too soon. Don't get caught up in the numbers game. How many properties are you mowing? How many side jobs do you have? How many mulch jobs do you have scheduled? How many rock jobs are you doing? Don't play that game when you're first starting out, because you're not going to have as many as someone that's been in business for several years. You just do what you have scheduled to do, and word of mouth will be your best advertisement. Another piece of advice that I could give you is market your business. I didn't get started on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok until a couple of years ago. I wish I would have done it a long, long time ago. Now, I had Facebook, but I didn't really use it to market my business. So start you a good Facebook page, a good Instagram, a good TikTok, a good YouTube. Record yourself, make some good content, post it, tag your city in the post, and the work will come in. So market yourself. Get you some t-shirts made up with your logo and your phone number. I was standing in line at the post office. A sweet little old lady tapped me on the shoulder because she read my shirt. She needed someone to mow her yard. I went, gave her an estimate, and started mowing her property. So market yourself. Put yourself out there. Make your truck a mobile billboard. Letter it up. Put your logo on it. Put your TikTok, Instagram, YouTube channel on it. Let everyone know where they can find your business and see the quality of work that you perform. Another thing I wish I would have known is in the lawn care business, because you're using your equipment every day, you need at least 2 of everything. When a mower breaks down, the grass is still growing. If a blower breaks down, you're using a push broom. Or you're using something to try to get the clippings off of the sidewalk in the driveway or the patio. You need 2 of everything. Doesn't have to be 2 brand new pieces of equipment. But you need a backup. I wished I would have learned that early on, because I could not tell you the amount of stress that I carried and the amount of time I worried and fretted because customers needed their property serviced and my mower was in the shop. Or I couldn't get my trimmer to work right. It would bog down when I would pull the trigger, and then I didn't know what to do. Now I have a somewhat of an idea how to take care of those kind of things. It relieved a lot of stress and pressure when I had a backup. Another thing I wished I would have known is to get yourself a good quality invoicing service. I use Invoices to Go. That's probably going to be changing here soon. But if you're writing stuff down on tablet, you're running a risk of losing something, not knowing who owes, who's paid. That's a nightmare waiting to happen. Get yourself a good invoicing program and take full advantage of that service. As my grandma would say, don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't get too big too soon. I said this in my previous podcast. When you make a promise to a client, you keep a promise to that client. If you cannot keep the promise, do not make the promise. Show up when you say you're going to, and be on time. Be consistent. Do the work, and the rewards will come in. Those are just a few things that I wished I would have known when I was getting started. Those are some things I wish I would have had someone to pull me in under their wing and explain this stuff to me to help me. The purpose of my podcast is to try to be a help where I can be, to try to guide someone in the right direction. And I hope you've picked up something in this podcast that will be a help to you. Find success and enjoy the rewards of hard work. Hard work pays off. Thank you for tuning in to the Lawn Hustle. We'll talk again real soon.